Hello everybody and welcome. This is a Legacy School Literacy lesson for Year 6, Week 4. So for this lesson you'll need your Checkpoint 1 book, pages 13, 14, and 15, and your literacy copybook. So let's do a quick review of our last lesson. Do you remember what kind of factual writing we have read so far and what their features were? If you don't remember, some of them had text written in paragraphs, some of them were written in bullet points, some of them had numbered sentences, like in recipes, where you have to follow steps. Some of them had steps and instructions. And we had one text that was actually a timetable. So, of course, we know that factual writing can take many forms, and it's not one specific form to follow. All right, so let's go ahead and have a look at page 13, 14, and 15. We have a set of articles about a trip or taking a trip to Vendée, which is a resort town in Italy, or in France, my bad. I don't speak French, so please excuse my pronunciation of some of these places or some of these activities. All right, so we're going to go ahead and just have a look at the articles. So this first one is about taking a balloon ride, a hot air balloon ride. And the second one is just general information about Vendée and all the things that you can do there and what it's like to travel there. Let's have a look at the articles. So we have some things written in bullet points. We have some things written in paragraphs on both, or for both. We also have a nice picture here of boats in a harbor, is what it looks like. We have some subheadings, things to do and places to visit, practical things, traveling to Vendée. So it seems pretty clear and organized, right? What do you think the text will be about? We already talked about that, and we said that it seems to be about taking a trip. What do you think the purpose of these articles are? Mostly it's for advertising purposes, choosing a product or a service. And what kind of information do you expect to be in these articles? Just by looking at them, it seems to have lots of information about things to do and how to get around. All right, now we're going to go ahead and actually read over the articles, and then we have some questions to answer afterwards. So the title is Hot Air Balloon Rides in France over Vendée and Dusseville, between Puy-de-Faux and Marais-Poitevin. A flight in a hot air balloon is a unique experience. Realize your hot air balloon ride dream during your stay in Vendée. Come along with us and fly over the Vendée countryside. The hot air balloon flights go in the morning at sunrise and in the evening 2 hours before sunset. The entire Sky Surfer hot air balloon experience is approximately 4 hours long. Flights are approximately 1 hour in duration. Due to the wind speed and direction, the amount of time aloft in a hot air balloon can never be guaranteed. Your fun begins immediately when you arrive at our launch field, where you are greeted by Damien and Thomas, your pilots, and you are briefed about what to expect on your balloon flight. Flights are daily throughout the year, depending on weather conditions. For takeoff time and prices, visit our website. And then they've added a link to a website. And then they've given us an address and a telephone number at the bottom of the page. So let's first go over a couple of concepts and vocabulary words that might be new to you. So the first one we're going to talk about is realize your hot air balloon dream. So to realize something is to make it come true or to make it a reality. And the second concept we're going to talk about, or the second saying we're going to talk about, the second thing we're going to talk about is that flights are daily throughout the year, but they depend on the weather conditions. So this means that if it is particularly windy on a certain day, or rainy or snowing, or if the weather isn't that great, then you probably won't find any flights for that day. So let's go ahead and have a look at the next article, pages 14 and 15. It's a pretty long article. It says, why not take your next family holiday in the Vendée? Again, excuse me if anything is pronounced wrong. So take advantage of easy access from the Channel ports, Saint-Malo, only 3 hours to central Vendée, the nearest region of France to the UK, offering a great climate on par with the south, so the weather is really great there. Some of the best beaches in France, miles of sand, pine forest, and dunes. So when you go to Vendée, you'll see lots of sandy beaches and pine forests and some sand dunes as well. Attractive and varied countryside, sleepy, authentic French villages, and historic towns. So you'll probably find some old towns where you can experience how people lived in the past. And it says loads to see and do in Vendée with plenty of activities for the children. So these are things that you can take advantage of or things that you can do there. So they give us a little information. The Vendée is the west coast department of France, situated, which means located, between Nantes to the north and La Rochelle to the south. It's the second most popular holiday destination in France. So a holiday destination is somewhere that's like a tourist attraction. For example, here in Sudan, we have Al Bijrawiya or maybe Port Sudan. These are some holiday destinations or tourist attractions. So it's the second most popular holiday destination in France, welcoming tourists from both for family beach holidays and for authentic countryside breaks. It offers excellent value for money, being the perfect compromise for distance, weather, accommodation, authentic French life, and beautiful scenery. So let's stop and talk about that sentence. It's a perfect compromise for distance. So you're not going to have to travel that far, of course, if you're coming from the UK. The weather is fairly decent. It's fairly good. The accommodation or the hotels or hostels you'll be staying at are very good. And it offers authentic French life. Authentic means very original or something that is true to the culture. And of course, beautiful scenery. You'll see lots of beautiful natural scenes around the area. The next segment is traveling to the Vendée. From the Western Cross Channel ferry ports, you can easily drive to the Vendée in a day without an overnight stop, making it easily accessible for families with children. From Calais, count on it taking 7 to 8 hours, still feasible in a day's drive. For fly drive to Vendée, you have the nearest choices of either Nantes Airport or La Rochelle airports at Poitiers as a possibility further afield. So you have 2 airports to choose from, Nantes and La Rochelle. The budget airline companies have regular flights to these airports, and car hire is easily available at each, offering a very convenient alternative to the cross-channel ferries, and often working out very competitive. So you don't have to just take the ferry. Places to visit in the Vendée. Apart from just relaxing and taking in some real France, the Vendée offers endless holiday activities with plenty to see and do for young and old alike. Theme parks for children of all ages, historic chateau towns. A chateau is like maybe a small mansion. It's a very traditional French home. And villages to see. Sorry for my pronunciation. Son et Lumière spectacles, sound and light shows. So son is sound and lumière is light shows. Sporting activities, water sports, micro lights, go-karts, and horse riding and golf. These are all activities available. The Vendée is the second most popular department in France for holidays, which is hardly surprising, given its remarkable sunshine record and its magnificent coastline. So let's talk about remarkable sunshine record. Sudan is a very sunny country. Most days of the year are very sunny, so we can say it also has a very remarkable sunshine record. But of course, for us, it kind of makes it a little bit miserable. In European countries, they have lots of gloomy weather, lots of snow and rain and clouds. So for it to be sunny all year round is a very remarkable thing, and it's a very attractive thing for a tourist destination. So this is why they added it to the text. The Vendee coast attracts many visitors just for the miles of wide sandy beaches backing onto dunes and pine forest, but also for the typical French fishing ports, the lively resort towns, and a remarkably preserved natural site and nature reserves. It's also well known in the sailing world for the Vendee Globe and prized by many surfing enthusiasts. So a surfing enthusiast would be somebody that really, really loves to surf and probably competes. But that's not all. Further inland, the Vendee countryside has a charm of its own, from the spectacular open spaces of the reclaimed land in the south to the unique fen of the Marais Poitevin, Green Venice, and the delicately rolling hills and pastures of the North Vendee Bocage. History and tradition abounds with the sumptuous rural heritage of chateaux, charming villages, stunning churches, and historic towns. Visitors to the Vendee also appreciate the calm of the area. It's so easy to find quiet spots, even in high season. Now we're going to move on to this section titled Practical Things, Shops and Opening Hours. As with the rest of France, in the Vendee you will find that many shops close between noon and 2 p.m. Bakeries tend to close from 1 p.m. until late afternoon. The exception for this is the coastal resorts, where most shops open all day until late evening. So when you're in the rural parts of the Vendee, bakeries and shops close pretty early, around 1 p.m. The large supermarkets are generally open all day, closing around 7:30 to 8 p.m. But please note that most will be closed on Sunday. Plastic carrier bags have now disappeared from most supermarkets, but they sell large reusable bags. For food shopping on Sundays, you need to look for the smaller village mini markets. They're called souprettes or souprettes in French, which may be open on Sunday mornings. Other than snack bars and some restaurants in the tourist hotspots, restaurants tend to be strict with their timings. So for lunch, you can be served between noon and 1:30 p.m., which is not a very big window. Noon, 12 o'clock, and lunch ends around 1:30 p.m. So you have about an hour and a half to eat. And for evening dinner between 7 p.m. and 9:30 p.m., which is also about 2.5 hours to have dinner. These are very important things to note, especially if you're traveling with children, because as we know, children have to eat when they get hungry. So you'll probably want to take sandwiches or snacks along with you. So now that we're done reading, let's go ahead and answer a few questions. You can answer these in your literacy copybook. Number 1, we're going to read the article on page 13 about the hot air balloon. The first question is, why is the hot air balloon flight advised? So why are they promoting it? Why do they think you should take a hot air balloon ride? Number 2, where does the balloon fly? Number 3, how long is the whole experience? So how long does it take from start to finish? 4, how long is the flight? 5, what does the whole experience include? So are you just flying up in the balloon, or are there other things included? Who are Damien and Thomas? That's an easy question. When are the flights? What does depending on weather conditions mean? So we've actually discussed this. So if you're sneaky, you can go back in the video, but I hope you paid attention and you know exactly what it means. And do you think all necessary information is given in this article? What is missing, if you think there's anything missing? And why do you think they didn't put that piece of information in the article? So when you're done with that, you're going to go back and read the article on pages 14 and 15 again, and take notes and write down the most important points in 2 sections divided by these section headings. So the first section is going to be called Basic Information about Vendee, and you're going to write where it is and how you can get there, and all the basic information about it. The second section is going to be called Why It Is Recommended for Families, and you're going to note down all of the things, all of the information that you can get from the article about why it is recommended for families. I want you to use a note style, so I want you to write in bullet points. There's no need for you to be writing in paragraphs, since the article is already in paragraphs, and we just want quick notes. Don't forget to take a clear picture of your work and upload it to the app, and good luck.